Hi there. Thank you for being here. In this moment, in this quiet little space, just you and me. I don't know how your day has been. Maybe it was exhausting. Maybe you're lying in bed, wrapped in a blanket, trying to quiet down the thoughts that feel a little too loud tonight. Or maybe you just didn't feel like doing anything at all because there's this feeling that keeps coming back. I'm not enough. That thought, it might sound simple, but when it loops in your mind day after day, it becomes something heavier, something sticky that clings to your choices, your dreams, and the way you see yourself. I know that feeling very well. That feeling when you try and try hard, but still feel like it's never enough. Like you're not as good as the next person, not fast enough, not impressive enough, not accomplished enough to feel like you matter. But here's something I want you to hear, really hear. That voice in your head telling you, you're not enough. That voice isn't actually you. That voice came from years of hearing things. Maybe from people who didn't know how to love you properly. Maybe from a culture that teaches us that our worth comes from how productive, successful, attractive, or useful we are. Rarely, so rarely, does someone look us in the eye and say, you are already enough, even if you never do another thing. I remember this one day. I was sitting in my car after work. It had been a long day of pretending I was fine, pretending I was capable, pretending I was in control. And then the car door shut and no one was looking, and I just broke down and cried. Not because of anything specific, but because I was tired. Tired of carrying the weight of always needing to prove I belonged. That night, I wrote a single sentence in my journal. Maybe I'm not the problem. Maybe I'm just tired of proving I deserve to exist. That one sentence shifted something in me. It made me stop and ask, am I living, or am I constantly begging for permission to take up space? From that night on, I started speaking to myself differently, not as a project to fix, but as a person to understand. I didn't want to spend my life in constant self repair. I wanted to be a person, a full, messy, beautiful, tired, alive person, sometimes strong, sometimes falling apart. And I want you to know that's okay. You don't have to be in fight mode all the time. You don't have to be excellent all the time. You don't need to achieve something big to be worthy of love. You don't have to earn your worth. You already have it simply because you're here, breathing, existing. I know you might still wonder, how can I believe I'm enough when I honestly don't feel like I am? And I want to tell you something simple, but not easy. It doesn't start with doing more. It starts with stopping. Stopping to notice how far you've already come. Stopping to say, I made it through more than I thought I could. Stopping to speak to yourself, not like a critic, but like a friend. Let me ask you this. If your best friend came to you and said, I feel useless, I don't think I'm enough, what would you say? Would you scold them? Or would you hold them and say, that's not true. I see you trying. I care about you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You can say that to a friend. So why not say it to yourself? Try this next time that voice shows up, the one whispering, you're not enough. Just pause and say, thank you for your concern, but today I'm choosing to believe I already am. It won't change everything overnight, but it plants something, and the more you repeat it, the deeper that truth begins to take root. We don't heal by pushing harder. We heal by softening. We heal by choosing, again and again, to treat ourselves with gentleness instead of judgment. You're not the only one who's felt this way. There are so many of us who've sat in the dark, stared at the ceiling, and quietly wondered, am I really worth loving? And I'm here to say, yes, you are. You don't need to be fixed before you deserve love. You don't need to be impressive to matter. You don't need to do one more thing to be enough. You, right here, right now, listening to this, are already enough. If you're tired today, rest. If your heart feels heavy, don't rush to lift it. Sit with it. Place a hand over it and say, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe it won't. But either way, you're still growing, still learning, still becoming, still breathing, not perfect, not always okay, but incredibly brave for being here. And I'm so thankful that you are. If this episode touched something in you, share it with someone who might need these words too, because maybe, just maybe, you're not only healing yourself, you're also helping someone else feel a little less alone. Thank you for listening. You are enough, even if you don't feel it yet. and I hope I get to sit with you again soon. Until then, be kind to yourself. You're doing better than you think.